tonight?
At last, well, yes, we'll have hopefully a good night's sleep tonight. But the last, 5 or 6 weeks, it's been tough for the lads, and today I thought an excellent performance. Under so much pressure, the way they passed the ball, first half especially, the commitment from them was what, £200 a year, and I know from the celebrations they did, they were really proud of the effort the boys got put in. So a fantastic performance, and at last the relief and the dizzy heights of 13th.
Yeah, I was going to say finished 13th, top of the 8 teams that could have gone down this morning. We finished top of the 8. But I think there was no doubt from the word go, Darren, that we were really up for that. There were committed determination from the first kick of the game.
Well, we had to put that into them, myself and Tony, at the start, because obviously, with Worcester getting a kick in the teeth last week and just missing on the playoffs, we thought that maybe 1 or 2 in their pack might not be quite, have that drive that we had. So we thought if we had a big 20 minutes in the start, get a foothold in the game and maybe try and get that first goal, that we'd be able to hang on. But the goal didn't come, and at half time it was a little bit edgy, and people asking about other results and so forth, as would be expected. But second half, again, the desire and some of the football they played in the last 20 minutes of that second half was really good. And the young boys, we hit the bar a couple of times. The goalkeeper has made 2 magnificent saves. So we could have been a lot happier and a lot easier than it was. But had we taken those chances, but fantastic performance.
Did you know at half-time what the others were doing? I know you've got to concentrate on what you are doing, but did you know the other scores?
We let the players go on the pitch, and then we had a look. Obviously Johnny Wright, who was here supporting, he had his phone with him, and we had a little look after the players had gone out. So we were aware in the second half of what was going on. I think it was important that on the bench we knew what was going on, so that if we need to do anything drastic, then we'd be able to do it. So the players weren't aware of it until the last couple of minutes, when we thought then we were even a draw would have kept us up. But to get 3 points and a clean sheet, fantastic. 1 to 16, brilliant.
Yeah, terrific. And 2 men you brought in, credit to yourselves and Tony for bringing these 2 in at the back end. Jordan Connaughton got the only goal today, and Adam Flynn, both outstanding today, particularly young Connaughton, his best game I would have thought in a red shirt.
Outstanding, I think, as a forward. What you're asking for away from home is ball retention, movement in behind players, and he brought it all today. And he could have had a couple first half, I think, if he just got his shot off earlier, and we just thought, is that going to affect him like possibly it did last week? But no, he kept going, he kept making the runs in the second half, and pretty much same as last week. The one that he missed, the glancing header at the back post that he missed last week, he managed to get it this week. And that's a weight off his back. I've just talked to underneath him, left in the change room now. I was just having a little chat with him, and he was relieved to get a goal, because he's a goal scorer, and he came with that sort of hanging over him. And I think he's disappointed he's only got 2, but he produced 1 today when we needed it.
What about next season? Is it too early to talk about that?
Yeah, it's too early with any of them. Obviously there'll be some board meetings now, and we've got to assess the playing staff, obviously, and see where we go at. I'll need to speak to the chairman to see if we're the same people in charge of the reins, and firstly, and then we'll get going with that. But yeah, with regards to Flinney and Connaughton, it's too early for those boys yet.
Got to ask you this, Darren. There's so much hype at the start of the season, great optimism that we're going to be among the promotion contenders. It hasn't worked out. Tremendous battle in the end to stay in the league. But what's gone wrong?
I think you've got to maintain an ethic and a drive in your team, and the team themselves. And this is not me passing the buck across to them. When they go over that white line, they've learned actually the hardest part of the season, which has been the last 10 games for them, how to manage football matches while they're out on the field. Pull each other around, communicate with each other. So your grit and your determination and your fitness levels will get you so far in games. You've just got to then finish them off at the right time. And I think our lack of goals for, is what's probably ultimately cost us. And that, I think, comes down to a little bit of composure, some communication. If we'd had another 10 or 15 goals on our tally, then it would have been a different season. I'm pretty certain of that. I know we had an average start, and then we had a little dip where we didn't win for a while. And again, that's composure, playing through, grafting through bad spells in seasons. Everybody has a dip in form, but you've just got to be good enough and strong enough to see it through. And we made it difficult for ourselves in the last 10 games because of that little period in October, November, where again, I don't hype on about fear and the cash and so forth. But if you lose key players at any point and you haven't got that backup in your squad, it is going to be difficult. And let's make no bones about it. It was a testing for the boys. And for them to come through and perform the last 8 or 9 games like they have done is unbelievable. You know, there's 1 or 2 that are absolutely out of it, but they've found the drive to come through. So, you know, I think our attacking game has got to be a little bit better. You know, we've been fairly solid. Our goal record against is probably in the top 10, I think. It's just that goals against.
Goes without saying that's probably been your toughest few months as a manager.
Oh, without doubt. You know, I question myself every week. You know, could I have done better to help the boys? Should I have made a substitution at that time? Should I have played such and such? What can be done to change the game while it's going on? So you do that when you're winning even more, so you're critical of yourself when you're getting beat. So yeah, you know, I've learnt a lot about football, I think, and this squad of players. Myself and Tony, we talk a lot about it, and you know, 1 or 2 have come up trumps, and maybe 1 or 2 have had to look at themselves, and we'll have to through the summer.
So your message to the board is, look, I've learned from this season, we've made mistakes, we've got it right again, I'm the man to lead us on into the next season.
Yeah, you have to be positive with that answer, don't I? I think that I'm still the right man. You know, if I wasn't, I don't think the team would have performed for the last 2 months as they did. You know, if a team isn't backing you as a manager, you feel that, but you know, we've seen today especially, you know, that was a team that was behind me and Tony and wanted to perform, not just for us obviously, but for themselves, and as I say, I've been in dressing rooms where the manager hasn't got control of the players and they aren't behind him solely, and I've never got, you know, even through October, November, I never got that vibe from them, and I did ask senior players whether, you know, what the situation was, whether it was me being here too long, etc. But no, I think they've answered that by the way they stuck at the task in the last 8 or 9 games. So, you know, yeah, I want to stay at this football club and try and push on.
Darren, thanks very much indeed.
Cheers, boss.